venue or the locale, when these two get together, you know the spirits are going to be flowing, the intensity will be high, and these two will be ready to write another chapter in their storied rivalry. Welcome to Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. It's the Florida Gators and the Georgia Bulldogs. Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with you. Let's check in with our sideline reporter, Holly Rowe.
Guys, I have checked in with the Bulldogs head coach. This running back has been unstoppable this season. He is ranked top 5 in the country in rushing yards, and people are starting to mention his name in the Heisman talk. He is really devastating at the line of scrimmage, showing patience running behind blocks, and coach said he belongs in this conversation as long as he keeps his head down and continues to do his job. Guys, back to you.
Appreciate that, Holly. They'll start on the ground with Jaden Ball. Stop just across the 50 at the 49-yard line. It's a pickup of 10 and a first down.
And that's not a surprise. We all knew and talked about coming in. Who are they going to feature? They give it to him the first play, and he chews up and gets a first down. We're going to see more of that. I'm excited to watch this matchup, but the defense, Jesse, they better get physical. They better get better in a heartbeat.
Well, and they've got to fight some emotion right now, too, because the fans are excited. The offensive line is absolutely juiced after that opening play. They're now getting lathered up. They're now getting excited. They're pointing to the sideline. Run it again. Run the same play again.
Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
Nice job by the quarterback trying to buy time and scrambling to the right, but it was the hit that forced that incompletion.
They'll need a bunch on second down. The snap sets up to throw. Cannot get away. It is a huge sack, and I can't imagine what he was thinking on that play.
Nice coverage on the back end. Great job. Nothing open right away. The QB holds the ball in the pocket, and the pass rush finally gets home. Sometimes it's the DBs doing great work. Sometimes it's the defensive lineman winning up front.
The offensive line's got to get it together, giving up a sack on the last play, and now it's third down. DBs will try to keep everything in front. On third and long, no secret what he needs here. And the pressure is coming in, and they get him again.
It's always interesting to view the good teams, the teams that are ranked versus the teams that aren't ranked. And this defense, man, like, how do they play it today? I love that start, man. Coming out aggressive, flying around, playing like your hair's on fire, getting a sack to start this game, getting a little momentum on their side.
Working his way on the return up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. They'll start on the ground with Frazier. Oh, he's got some space.
Offenses, when they run these RPOs, they just want to be comfortable. The quarterback wants to make the read very easy, very clean. It's your job as a defense to kind of create some confusion, speed up that process any way you can.
The Bulldogs with a second and short to keep this drive moving. Give to the running back. They've got him corralled. Just this side of midfield, the defense trying to rise up on third and short from the 49. Trying to slip through and pick it up. Finding some room. A huge pickup, knocked out of bounds at the 30, but they are in business.
I think it's really important for this offense. They get this guy going early in the game, and they're doing a nice job of that right now. Remember, he's the kind of running back who gets better as the game goes on. That's a really good omen for this offense, considering his success now early.
And the Dogs come to the line with a new set of downs. Linebackers shuffling around, trying to keep the quarterback from getting a read. Defense all over him.
Well, it feels like each and every year when you talk Georgia and their ability running the football, they are about as deep at that position at running back as anybody in college football. You look to last year, David, it felt like every game there was 5 or 6 guys. It was Nate Frazier and 4 other dudes all getting it done. They recruit so well at that position. They bring in fresh bodies. They wear defenses down. We expect that to be the same thing this year.
They do, but I tell you what, man, the highlighter to me, the top guy is Nate Frazier. And them keeping him this offseason, there was a lot of people that were trying to make him a very rich man. And I'm not saying he's not a rich man in Georgia, but, like, he is the superstar. He's got great feet. You saw him take next steps after his freshman year. And this guy really has dynamic quickness. He explodes through the hole, home run speed, doesn't mess around, has really proven to be a great back.
Looking downfield, it's Stockton. Right side, it's Phillips. They'll get it down to the 8-yard line on that throw and catch, and the defense is backed up against the wall. Well, he made the grab, but the doors closed quickly after that.
And I like this. I want to find my running back, but, man, he's got to do a little more damage after the catch. I need a stiff arm. I need a spin move. I need something where he can make that guy miss and pick up a bunch of yards and maybe get a big play out.
Quick give. It's Phillips. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Bulldogs! Getting set for the extra point after putting the scoreboard to work for the first time. And the PAT makes it 7-0. So that's a 60-yard touchdown drive. And it was capped off with the 8-yard run. Fielded in the end zone. It's Abrams. He's chased out of bounds inside the 15. They'll mark him out at his own 14-yard line. Not much on that kick return. Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. They'll send the tight end in motion. They'll start on the ground with Jaden Ball. There he goes. He'll get it out to the 25, not bothered at all being backed up, and they've got a first down. That Gator ground game is lurking in the murky waters, and it has been most effective.
Yeah, we've seen them in the past, man. When Florida's really, really cooking, they've got some good backs. They've got some good balance, but they've got some physicality, and that's what you want to see from this unit.
Jones to throw. And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15.
We talked to the offensive staff coming into this one. They knew going up against the top 25 defense with respect to sacks per game. They had to do a good job protecting the QB, but they have not been able to get that done so far. They've already now allowed 3 sacks in this game.
Second down, gonna throw it. And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again.
What a great job by this defense setting the tone early. In the first half, they've been hitting the quarterback early and often. Make him feel uncomfortable. Make him feel that pressure. Keep getting him on the ground. That's why they've built a lead.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. Goes high to pull it in. They make the tackle, and it's short of the marker. It'll be 4th down.
And that's a big throw. That's a big-time throw on 3rd and really long, making a play, not putting the ball in harm's way. But I love what the defense did, man. They understood where the sticks were, and they weren't letting their playmaker get behind there. They were going to come up, make a sure tackle, and force the 4th down. And now you can make the decision on what you want it to be, but I like the execution by the defense.
Look at this, guys. The offense appears to be going for it from their own side of the field. A run for the quarterback. And he will not get there. How about this defense stopping that run short?
I That's a great job there by the defense here early in this game, getting a huge stop, and they've got an opportunity to make the opponent pay. Offense taking over now in great field position. Let's see what they can do here from a play calling standpoint to try to put some points on the board.
And he laid the lumber to stop him from getting the first down. And with that last grab coming up just short of the sticks, plenty of options here on second and short. He gets it past the sticks, and Georgia has a first down. They are letting the big dogs eat on the ground.
Pound, 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 the dog pound. Run the football, be physical. You can go back when Vince Dooley won a championship, Herschel Walker. You go all through the names. So many great running backs that run with an edge that are dogs.
Well, guys, it's Georgia holding the lead at the end of the quarter. We've played one. Before we move on, let's have a look at the stats. Heading in the opposite directions now as we crank it up in the second. Went to the running game on first down. Now here they come again. Handoff for Frazier. They pull him down at the 17 after a pickup of 3.
Yeah, and listen, offensively, you run the RPOs. You just want positive yards, make the right read. Read the guy. If he wants to drop back a little bit, hand it off, get some positive yards, go on to the next play.
And the Bulldogs line up, trying to move the sticks on third and short. Looking to throw at Stockton. Unloads to the wideout. Makes the grab. Gets out of bounds after the big game, but they've got it first and goal. The Dogs go back to work after moving the chains through the air. Here's Nate Frazier. Driven back. Can the defense stop them again on second and goal? Tries again to get it in. He's got it down to the 1-yard line right on the doorstep of Pater. Georgia going up tempo. They'll try to run it with Frazier. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown Bulldogs. He'll try to tack on one more. And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. So they take advantage of good starting field position, move the ball 35 yards, and they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge. Coming out with it, it's Abrams. Knocked down right at the 25, and I guess he breaks even, bringing it out of the end zone. Here comes the Gators offense, ready to go on the attack. Motion from the wide receiver. Looks as if they didn't get it off in time. It'll be a delay of game. The quarterback just lost track of the play clock, didn't get the snap off quickly enough. He's looking to pass. They're all over him. And down he goes. The defense bringing the heat.
Boy, this defense is ridiculous. On point. They know how to rush the passers. Multiple guys getting it done. 5 sacks, and we are still in the first half.
Straight ahead, it's ball. At the 20, he's got space. Snowed under by the defense.
Well, the defense may have been caught off guard a little bit on that play. It was second and long. They weren't expecting the run. So now we've got third and manageable, and they've got to be wondering to themselves, this offense going to try to run the ball again?
On third and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Big hit, knocks the ball away, and it'll force him into a fourth down.
And a lot of times when you see running backs catch the football, man, they've got a little bit of space to operate. That's great coverage. Being right there when he catches the ball to deliver the hit, to make sure he doesn't secure the catch, elite coverage.
Wait just a second. They're leaving the offense on the field. They're going to go for it in this situation. Snaps on fourth down. Rushes on. And down he goes.
Man, first half being that aggressive on your side of the field, that's a different world. Like, you live in the analytics world, and I know people say go for it more often. I don't see the point in going for it on that one early in the game in that situation.
Here comes the Bulldog offense out to start the drive. They have it once again in spectacular field position, cashed in the last time and even better this time around. He's tackled right at the 10-yard line, and they're trying to cash in on this drive. Going to work on second down in the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Just feeds the running back. They'll wrestle him down at the 4-yard line after that run.
And nice job on second down. Maybe you're expecting a pass, but sticking the run in there, catching him off balance a little bit, getting a big gain, getting the first down.
Looking for a man. It's Stockton. Touchdown, Dogs! Fitted in the window for the score. They've extended the lead and taken control here in Week 9. And with the extra point, they're up 21-0. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they cap the drive with a 4-yard touchdown pass. Fielded in the end zone, it's Abrams. Gets it across the 20 to the 21, and not quite what he would have picked up just taking the touchback. The Gators sending the offense back to work. They'll start on the ground with Jaden Ball. They'll knock him down after a 6-yard gain to the 27.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
Got 6 on first down. Now a lot of options on 2nd and 4. Kept it on the ground. Now they'll throw. The sure hands. It's Mays. He moves the chains, and they'll mark the ball at the 33.
And that's a really nice route by the wide receiver, just understanding I got to win right now. I got to get inside of that guy, and I know I'm going to get contact. You run over the middle of the field on a slant, you're going to get hit. Nice job securing the catch, making the play.
Can't hold on in the face of the contact. David, as a Georgia legend, when I say Florida, what comes to mind?
Ugh. I mean, that's the easiest question you've asked me yet. I mean, there's nothing that I ever liked or enjoyed about the Florida Gators, just playing in that rivalry. You know, it's not a neutral site, by the way. It's in Jacksonville, Florida. Like, that's not neutral. It's way closer to Florida. It's way closer to Florida fans. But this rivalry, I'm telling you, every single year, that was the #1 team you wanted to beat.
The Gators are marching down the field. They'll move the wide receiver. Gonna look downfield again. Look out. Time to take a shot. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it.
Yeah, and I love taking deep shots. I think it makes quarterbacks play honest, safeties play honest, and you could tell just missed a little bit deep on that shot. But listen, those are shots that we want to take because the risk is definitely worth the reward.
I like the poise by the quarterback on that play, too, because a lot of times as a quarterback, you see the blitz coming, and immediately you want to audible, you want to try to throw the ball, but he knew that he had a good run play called, and he knew he could leave it on. Heads up play by the QB.
Running inside, it's Pryor. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. It'll be 4th down.
And this defense has got to be jacked up, man. They've finally forced the 4th down, right? They've gotten a couple of first downs, got some things going, but I think it's decision time for this offense. And this D's got to do it one more time, right? They've got to get another play, a big 4th down stop here to get some of that momentum and get the football back.
The offense hasn't been able to get it done on 4th down. 0 for 2 so far. They'll try to turn that around here. Snaps it, and he has to have it. Fires to the right. Big tight end makes the grab. It's a first down. We're at the 2-minute timeout, and these guys really need to build a little momentum to cut into this lead before halftime.
Hey, I got to be honest, I don't know if the defense was expecting that type of throw on 4th down. It looked like they were all huddled close to the line of scrimmage, looking for something in the quick game, but instead the quarterback takes a shot vertically down the field and catches the defense off guard.
He'll move it ahead and a good productive play on the ground. Halfway there on 1st down, it's 2nd and 5. This time they'll throw it. Caught in the backfield. It's ball. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion.
You know, it's funny. I know running backs oftentimes are afterthoughts when it comes to the passing game, but when you think about it, this guy's been making people miss his entire life taking handoffs. So why wouldn't you try to get him involved in the passing game as well? You just saw in that last play how dangerous he is after the catch.
He'll be hauled down just inside the 10 at the 9 as they're trying to turn this into a score.
Quarterbacks generally, guys, we know, they're not as big and not as physical runners as running backs. So it is going to be trickier for them to break tackles. I like the idea of getting the design quarterback run game going. But moving forward, let's see if we can get him out to the perimeter.
2nd down, gonna throw it. Rush right in his face. Makes the grab on the left. Touchdown, Gators! Made the grab and took it on in for the score.
And that's exactly what the offense needed right there. A touchdown here, and I know it's taken a while. They hadn't had a lot of success up until that moment. Late in the 2nd quarter, they finally were able to punch one in the end zone, and that's going to give them some confidence now to take into the locker room here shortly at halftime, but they've got to play much better in the 2nd half.
And he's not going to take the touchback. No idea what he could have been thinking to try to return that one, and they stop him at the 7. They'll get a chance to work on that hurry-up offense here in the final minute of the 1st half. They'll start on the ground with Frazier. Stopped in his tracks. He got nothing. It'll be 2nd and 10. The Gators are going to call their first timeout. They'll have 2 left to work with before the half. Dropping back, it's Stockton. Throws it deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Going for broke on 2nd down, but 3rd down's coming up.
Well, you knew you were going to see it in this game, throwing the go route to one of the fastest players in all of college football. This receiver strikes fear in the heart of every defense because he's got elite track speed. He's going to blow the combine up in the 40-yard dash because of his wheels. Not able to connect with the quarterback on that one, but you know he has the defense's attention.
Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
I got to be honest, guys. I know there are a lot of people out there with this field position that would say punt the football, but based on the success they've had early in this game with 3 touchdowns already, playing with confidence, I think I'd just go for it here.
On the return. Good coverage on that one, and they get him almost immediately. We'll see them really hit the speed button on the tempo here in the final minute of the 1st half. Fresh center downs going to the air. Nice play by the defense to jar that one loose.
That's what I'm talking about. That is how you close. And when a guy's going to make a catch, you make sure he doesn't make it. Physicality, using your pads, running through him. And guess what? Not only this play does he feel it, next time he tries to go over the middle or feels footsteps, this will pay dividends.
Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Looking downfield very late in the half. Catch in the middle, it's Brown. The Bulldogs using their first timeout. They'll have 2 left to work with before the half. They need a huge play on 3rd and long. They'll give it to Ball. Putting together a real scoring threat here as they pick up the first down at the 36. Fresh set of downs going up top. Rolling to the right, trying to make something happen. Clock is stopped. Florida has called a timeout at second. And they'll still have one in their pocket for what's left in this first half. They've already racked up big sack numbers. It's starting to snowball, and they are ready to go again. Back to throw, time running short in the half. Oh, and it's picked off. Threw it right into the teeth of double coverage. And they make the play and make sure there's not any scoring opportunity right here before the end of the half. Waning seconds of the first half. Let's see just how aggressive they'll be. Looking to pass. It's Stockton. He's going to let it go. Intercepted for the 11th time this season. He'll try to take it back. And he gets the interception and finally run out of bounds, and that's how we'll wrap up the first half. As the Gators head for the locker room by the watchful eye of that full Gator head, let's check in with Kevin Connors at the half.
Men, week 9, go time. So let's get down to business with a notable update from the world of college football. We start with UCF taking on the number 23 team, the Baylor Bears. And it's the Knights with a statement victory here in a surprising result. Going into this game, they did not look like the better team. The result today gets them back to 500. It's something they harped on in practice all week, and they will celebrate this one for at least 24 hours.
Here comes the Georgia offense, ready to go on the attack. If it's working, why change it? And that running game was working in the first half. I imagine we'll see a lot more of it here in the third quarter.
And you just know the offensive line was telling their coordinator, put this on us. Let us continue to go out there, push these guys around. We can put this game on our back and end this thing by running the ball.
And this is a manhood question for this defense. Like, as a defensive lineman, and you're pounding the rock, like, I got to physically rise to this challenge. This defense has to play more inspired and more physical in the second half.
Well, this running back has been the only guy, obviously, who's touched the ball these first 2 plays. He's looked pretty good. I think it's safe to say everybody in the stadium here on third down expecting him to get the ball again.
On third down, here's Frazier. Turning it on! Boy, did he look as if he was going to go. Gets it down to the 37. He now has 111 yards rushing, and this guy's just having a tremendous season, leading the country in rushing. Georgia ready to dial it up on another first down. Hits inside. It's Phillips. Able to squeeze out a couple on the play. It's down at the 35. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down.
A nice job being gap sound by this defense. And here you go. Watch what this offense does. They'll get right back on the ball, and they'll go really quick, so you got to be prepared.
They make the tackle, but not before he picks up the first down. This Georgia offense moving quickly down the field. Drops back. It's Stockton. Not much of a chance there. He just had to get rid of it to avoid the sack. Long way to go on second down. They'll send the back in motion. Back to pass on second down. Going for it all. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Georgia. Getting set for the point after. And the extra point is true, and the lead balloons to 21. They put together a 74-yard touchdown drive, and they finished the deal with a 26-yard touchdown pass. Deep in the end zone, it's Abrams. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. They'll start on the ground with Jaden Ball. Just smothered on the play.
And we knew the linebackers were the strength of this defense, but coming in the offense, man, they felt really good about their running back. And so far, man, it's been a fun matchup to watch, but advantage to these guys that have been filling gaps, scraping, getting to the football, making plays. This linebacker unit really held down this rushing attack that they usually hang their hat on.
Motion from the wideout. Second down to the air. Left side is Singleton. Out across the 30 and out of bounds at the 33. And that's what you're looking for when you're backed up in your own territory.
And as a quarterback, you know when you're throwing a corner route, the football is going to travel a long distance, so you've got to have great timing. You've got to get the ball out of your hands before the receivers come out of his break. You've also got to put a lot of air under the pass so the wide receiver can locate it. You can tell this quarterback has thrown a ton of these routes in practice.
And he scurries out of bounds and wisely avoids taking the big hit.
And that's a pretty good job by this defense. Man, it's so hard to limit these quarterbacks, and they're spreading you out all over the field. When they take off, it's hard to limit the damage. Nice job limiting the damage. And I'll tell you what, make it physical. Finish those plays and try to tackle that guy and make him think about running the football in the future. A lot of times you see these defenses, man, they pull the run blitzes. They understand the formations. It might be a run, play the percentages, and then you got to deal with the big defensive tackle inside. So more bodies near the line of scrimmage. Everybody's got to pick him up, but they didn't block the most important guy, the big fellow right in the middle.
They tried to go smash mouth on third and short, and it did not work against this defense.
And I think one thing people don't take into account is not all fourth downs are created equal.
Hold on a minute. The offense still out there going for it in their own territory. Tight end in motion. See how the D reacts. Got to make the play on fourth. Trying to burn this defensive back. Oh, he dropped it. He just lost his concentration and didn't look it all the way in. They thought they had a good plan, but it did not work.
What a big stop for this defense in the second half around midfield. You can set your offense up for success right here on this drive by getting that big fourth down stop.
Inside the 30. Breaks into the open. And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Bulldogs. On to attempt the try. The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. They couldn't draw up a drive better than that one. Just gashed him for the big play in the running game. One snap, one touchdown. On the return, it's Abrams. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 25, exactly where he would have been if he'd taken the knee. Here comes the Gators offense, ready to go on the attack. Off play action on first down. And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16.
This defense has taken the game over. They're winning the game in large part because of how dominant they've been up front, how good their pass rush has been.
The Gators trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. They'll run out of the gun with Jaden Ball. That may not look like a huge run, but they'll take it as it gets them up to the 24. Third and long coming up. Sends it back in motion. Ball again. They make the stop at the 26, and let's see if they bring out the punt team. Boy, if they don't convert this fourth down, there will be questions to be answered. Needs it. Got enough for the first down. Knocked down, but he's got enough to move the chains and convert that 4th down.
And I like this. I like aggressiveness, especially early in ball games. Set the tone. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to play 4-down football. Nowadays, it makes a lot of sense. You see it with analytics. Go for it, even if it's in your own territory.
As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. Snap on 1st down, wants to throw. Slips away. And the heat was all over him, and that's the way the 3rd quarter will wrap up with a big sack. So will the beatdown continue, or is this a comeback for the ages in store? We'll see as we start the 4th. So the final period starts with a 2nd down play. From the gun, it's Ball. Might have picked up a couple on that one before he was knocked down.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
Here's Jaden one more time. Oh, he's got some space. Pass to 6. And they get him down at the 43, but this is the kind of explosive play you want to build on. And the Gators have it with a 1st and 10. Wide receiver going in motion. Here's a give the ball. Hit and stopped right there. Not much on that pickup.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough. But how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
They'll have to push the ball down the field here on 3rd and long. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Ball. Dragged down right at the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down.
Yeah, this offense, man, they just continue to struggle. And just, they need to find something that they do really, really well. And running the football late in the 4th quarter when you're getting beat by a good bit, that's probably not it. This offense needs to hit the gas, and they need to pitch and catch a little bit and throw the football around.
Down by multiple possessions, you can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on 4th down. He's got enough, and they roll the dice on 4th down, and they keep the drive alive.
And, man, this is more of the same for this dude toting the pill. Like, they keep giving it to him, and he keeps producing. Another chunk play. Like, I don't expect that they'll change much to do with this offense because every time they give it to him, he's chewing up some yards, and good things are happening.
Looking for an alley. And they get to him early, and he'll be knocked down for a loss of 4.
Well, that last play is basically a microcosm of what today has been like for this offense. Just nothing happening. Not physical enough at the point of attack. They're being swarmed. They haven't had the balance necessary to win this game, and that's why they find themselves trailing late.
This drive was clicking along, but now it's 2nd and 14. On the move. He's past the marker. Flies to the ground. He got away and picked up the 1st down on a 2nd and long. The Gators kept this drive moving on the ground. Now back to work. Wide receiver comes in motion. Going to the run. It's Ball. Pulled down at the 11-yard line as they inch closer and closer to Pater. Going to work in the red zone. They can't pick up the 1st down without getting it into the end zone. Ball again. Wrestled down at the 8-yard line as they threaten deep in the red zone.
And this defense is more than happy with the offense running the football. They've done a great job today. I mean, they've really made this offense work so hard, earn everything they've gotten, and that's why this lead is ballooned like it has.
Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big 3rd down in the red zone. Keeps it himself. He'll be stopped just short of the end zone, but they'll have it 1st and goal. With the clock running, this should be the final play. chapter of this rivalry in the books, and this one goes to the Dogs, who hunkered down and took out the Gators. That's going to do it for us.